Coming from someone who's actually dealt with extremely severe acne, here are 5 things you absolutely think are helping with your acne, but they're actually not. All right, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of acne videos that have a lot of fluff before they get to the point. So if you don't know me, I'm Brian from Team Acne. Like I said, I used to have really bad acne and I've tried everything. So I know what really does work and what's a waste of your time. So let's not waste any more of your time and let's jump into this. All right, number 1 is anti-inflammatory foods. Now, you've probably heard people say before, acne is inflammation. It's an inflammatory response. So it kind of makes sense that anti-inflammatory foods would be helpful, right? Well, a lot of times people will take things like ibuprofen to help with inflammation in their joints, for example. And if they're going the more natural route, they'll try different foods that are anti-inflammatory, like turmeric or watermelon. Now, while those are anti-inflammatory and they only help for a short period of time, so those things are more useful for something like inflammation in the joints before you go play sports or you go lift or something like that, right? It's an acute response that will help your inflammation. But like you and I both know, acne is not a short-term thing. It's not acute. It is chronic. It's there for a long time and it seems to just keep getting worse, right? So taking something that helps with your inflammation for a few hours is not going to address the problem. Moving to a more anti-inflammatory diet overall definitely could help, especially if your acne is a symptom of some sort of inflammatory food that you are possibly allergic to, like dairy or wheat or something like that. Number 2, facial scrubs, aka also known as physical exfoliators. These are things like St. Ives apricot scrub or like facial sugar cleanses and scrubs, right? You think that this is actually going to help by rubbing off the acne or the dirt or the skin cells, but it's actually going to make it worse. The reason why is because your skin is actually very delicate, and when you rub these large pieces of rough material against your face, you're actually irritating your face quite a bit. Irritation definitely causes more acne, especially for acne-prone people. Now, exfoliation is fantastic for the health of your skin, but also for mild to moderate acne. But science has shown recently that physical exfoliation is not good for your skin or your acne. Chemical exfoliation does all of what we thought physical exfoliation used to do. It sloughs off old dead skin cells, it increases your new skin cell turnover, and it improves mild to moderate acne. So use something like an alpha hydroxy acid mask. For example, I use the pumpkin enzyme mask from Banish. Number 3, cold water or ice on the face. Now, you probably have heard this remedy before, or maybe you've actually tried it. A lot of people will say, take a spoon, put it in the freezer, and put it against your pimple to reduce the redness. So people have done this with ice, or you'll hear people say, take a cold shower because it'll shrink your pores. Both of those things don't actually do anything for your acne. All it does is decrease the redness, decrease the inflammation for a very short period of time. As soon as you take that ice cold spoon away, as soon as you get out of that cold shower, it'll take about 5 or 10 minutes before your blood circulates. You get that regular blood temperature back to those pimples and red spots on your face, and then all of that redness, all of that inflammation is back. So while it makes sense, in theory, it doesn't actually help your acne, it doesn't actually address the root cause of why you have acne, so it doesn't improve it. Number 4, kombucha. Now at this point, I feel like everybody knows what kombucha is, right? It's touted as like the magic elixir. It's a fermented tea. And a lot of times the reason people will encourage people to drink this is because it has good bacteria in it and it can improve your gut bacteria. Now, when I had extremely severe acne, I was basically just trying to do anything anyone told me was helpful, right? So if I heard kombucha and I'd never heard of it before, I would go to the store and I would go drink like 4 of those in a week, and then I'd see if it would make my acne better. It's not gonna make your acne better in a week. It's probably not gonna make your acne better in a couple of weeks or even a month, right? When it comes to improving your total gut bacteria and improving the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria, it's a longer process. So while eating fermented foods and introducing good bacteria to your gut microbiome can improve acne, I wanna make that clear, it definitely can improve it. Doing it like over a day or a couple days, doing it as a short-term fix is never going to fix it. What's important is figuring out why your gut microbiome is out of whack, why it has dysbiosis, as it's called, where you have more bad bacteria than you have good bacteria. A lot of times that will come from eating poorly, right? Eating things that have a lot of artificial sugars or a lot of real sugars, drinking a lot of alcohol, eating a lot of food that has tons of preservatives in it, just eating crap, right? Like I could go through them all. Things that are in like crinkly wrappers and stuff, that is what's going to feed the bad bacteria. So reducing that, introducing more vegetables, introducing foods that do have good probiotics in them, like kombucha, like other fermented foods, you know, like kimchi and sauerkraut, things like that, you can definitely improve it, but it's going to take a longer period of time. Number 5, face masks. Now I'm talking about the facial sheet masks. You'll oftentimes get these at like Ulta or Sephora. They'll throw them in as a freebie, or you'll just see them at the end of the aisle at CVS right before you check out at the checkout, right? Now, if you're somebody who's experiencing no acne and then you get a small pimple or two, these might help. Sometimes these facial sheet masks will have some useful things like salicylic acid in them or niacinamide. But oftentimes what they are actually trying to do is just make your face feel really cool and feel very moisturized. So a lot of times they'll have things like aloe vera, sometimes they'll have like hyaluronic acid in them, but most of the times they are made pretty cheap, so they don't have the best ingredients in them, and they really aren't there to improve your acne, especially if you have chronic, severe acne. So if you use these once or twice a week, they're not going to improve your acne. And if you're using these every single day, you might as well just buy the actual active ingredient that's in those masks, because it's going to be a lot cheaper and you're going to a lot more effectively apply it to your face. And then you will probably see some improvement in your acne from using those ingredients. Look, like I said, I used to have super severe acne, like you saw, and I want to make these videos to help not waste your time and also help you to not waste your hope on things that really aren't going to be the solution for your acne, right? Acne comes from a multitude of different factors, and you do have to address each of those factors, and they're different for everyone individually. So I actually made an acne program called theacnemethod.com. You can check it out. It's helped hundreds of people at this point, but it comes from somebody who's actually had acne, who understands the perspective of what is useful and what is not. Also, if you want to check out my favorite skincare brand of all time, Banish, they really help with mild to moderate acne, but also especially for people who have acne scarring after you've gotten rid of your acne, which I definitely had. So check them out. Brian5 gets you $5 off of your order. I'll put a link to that in the description below. All right, that's it for now. Let me know what you have found to be a waste of time that you've tried in the past to help improve your acne. Put it in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And remember, you are not alone. You are beautiful, and you're part of Team Acne. See you in the very next video.